EG, they're going to look to try and make a move onto the CM here. Chasing Panda down. The same time though, you've got Picard's going for crit. Panda will go down to Nightfall. Underneath the tower, Picard's will find the trade. But of course, able to chase down the supports, gets each other a kill.
Panda will take that one. Anything to enable Picard's. That's the name of the game for Thunder.
Yeah, so far, as you can see, both safe laners putting in 10 here for Arteezy, 25 and 5 for Picard.
Before axe is axe, Dyer's top tower.
Putting quite a bit of pressure with this Sky Hunter, to be honest with you.
Seeing now the 6-minute power room coming into play here, and EG, they're going to make sure they have control around this mid area. They'll look to charge in under the tower. Stick charges at the ready, though. Fly's not able to dive in and finish the kill off. So EG bringing both supports over towards the power rooms here to make sure that they're able to control them against the Zeus.
Yeah, Thunder just unable to move the resources to go for that rune there. Mago very lucky to survive. Has Arcane Boots now finished up. And there's level 6, so now EG does have to be careful of that global threat.
So we saw at the same time with the supports moving mid, Thunder did attempt to make a play towards Nightfall, but at this stage, Nightfall, he's got sort of through the rough part of the laning stage, and now on his own, he's pretty hard to take down here for these two.
Absolutely. The Boots, he's able to distance himself as long as he connects the anchor. He's okay versus that Bloodseeker now.
Top lane.
That Zeus ult, it's at the ready.
See if there's going to be enough at the moment. Still holding on to it. In fact, the turnaround's just there from EG.
And they still can't finish him off. They know he has raindrop. It would not kill him.
Bottom lane, Thunder. Are we able to make a move here with the buff that Picard was getting? So we'll find crit in return, but yeah, that top lane, that's a very juicy bit of play there for Arteezy with those 2 kills getting handed to them underneath their own tower.
Not what you want to do versus the Arteezy Shadow Fiend so far. This tournament, he's been dominating on it. And we said this was going to be the tough lane to look at for Thunder. Really trying to push the issue to just use that Zeus ult, but not able to quite find it.
See here, quick smoke from the mid lane. See if they can get some sort of setup around the mid, see if they can catch but by surprise.
I mean, I think Abed knows this happening because Mago was actually nuking from the high ground while smoked. So he didn't see the Zeus and he sees these nukes coming in, so he's like, okay, I gotta be a little careful.
He's gonna try and go for the play down bottom instead here. Mago, and with the avalanche setup, should be a pretty dead crit.
Radiant's
We'll be able to pick up something here. Quick rotation down towards bottom off the back of that smoke.
They're bullying him. 3 deaths already in this game. Putting all the emphasis on slowing down that silencer too. Mago, they give him the last hit. Good.
Oh, there's going to be an arcane as well. Arbed able to grab it. Turns with a cold snap onto Dark Margo, but Panda's here to help out Fly. Charges in with the Warcry and the Soul Hammer. Will find the stun connection onto the Zeus. They'll continue to run him down here. See Panda have another slow in a second. Further backups coming in, Matthew. Make sure the Dark Margo's going to be safe. Toss back into the 2-man avalanche. The ult as well. Can Thunder have the damage to finish off even these kills? Arbed turns with the cold snap. He's into the Ghost Walk. They'll drop a sentry, but he's too flat with the Rupture. Picard's has also joined the fight. They'll go straight for the immediate TP out though, Arbed, and he is away safely. Fly will get left behind. Picard's, of course, he'll charge on forward with the extra help there from Matthew and the toss. It's quite a bit of a dive, but they get the job done. Picard's 8 minutes in, able to find a kill underneath EG's tier 2.
And we said the thirst was going to be crazy this game. 8 minutes in, already rotating toward the mid lane.
This is the sort of action you love to see. And you knew that they were going to go for when Picard comes in with this last big Bloodseeker.
Beautiful rotation, but at the same time, Abed playing it clutch. Such a nice TP there, walking onto the high ground.
for the twins.
With disables at the ready.
I see him actually come back onto the map on the bottom lane now. Maybe looking to put some pressure onto this tier 1 tower. See who tries to turn up and soak up some of the golden XP from Thunder down there.
Wants to get a kill in particular, right? Just wants to get that urn charge so he can start making easier rotations. They just want to pull the attention away from the Shadow Fiend, right? So making the moves bottom, it's going to kind of force rotations from Thunder to make moves down there probably. But we'll see if Thunder does fall for that. Maybe they will just still put the emphasis onto Arteezy.
Dangerous area in the map. Ravage is at the ready if it's even needed. Doesn't look like it will be just for this kill alone. TPs are coming in though. Thunder, they want to see if they can find anything in return. Safe ready for the rolling. Thunder gets it off before the Ravage. Will be able to connect on to all 3 here with the initial stun. Jump forward for Dark, going to get it onto Robin, then take down the Invoker. Panda will lose his life. And Thunder, they get the kill on the enemy mid. They'll look for crit as well. He's out. No, he's not going to be out with a TP. The lightning bolt there in time for Dark Margo. And Thunder, they're not done yet. They're going to look over towards Nightfall. He'll go there, give him another lightning bolt. Dark Margo just cancelling TPs left, right, and centre. Nightfall is going to try and run from this, but a toss forward gets Dark Margo in range, finishes off the kill. Thunder, they were more than happy for EG to go looking for that fight round that tier 1. They were ready ready to turn up, and they knew they'd be able to get more out of that trade than Evil Geniuses.
The second EG steps a little too far into the tower range there, they commit too many spells. Yep, perfect rotation. Sacred comes in. Really nice played. Nicely played from the Pango. And because he was still staying up top, so it's not like he was just leaving the lane totally free for Ortiz. He was still kind of like putting a tiny bit of pressure in a way. So really nice rotations coming out.
Very, very clutch there to commit immediately with the Rolling Thunder. We saw how close it was to nearly be getting caught by the Ravage.
They don't quite have enough of the damage between these two to go for this kill onto the Bloodseeker.
Because he's playing it smart. He knows he can't, sort of push his luck too much on that top lane alone. Won't stick around longer than he should. EG might struggle to find him.
Top tower is under
If they
attack.
have the SF, they absolutely have the damage. He's kind of the biggest damage dealer that's going to be coming out.
I guess TP's on cooldown with the play that they made down bottom, so Picard's what sort of backups you're going to get? She's going to want TP going to help out, but the Requiem's there, raises from Arteezy, bursting down low, and Abed finishes off the kill. EG, they get in, they get out.
I like that he commits the Requiem. Honestly, it's just like, at this point, you're killing the most important core in the game. Don't need to worry about, like, over-committing anything. It's exactly how you want to do it, just in case there's TP rotations.
Yeah, they're so close at the moment, these two carries in terms of net worth. Pretty much even, but off the back of that kill, Arteezy will now start to be able to build that lead.
And this game it's pretty much dead even across the board here. All the cores, nobody's too far behind. Pango only 600 behind the counterpart of the Tide.
Radiant's
See there,
bottom tower is
incredible win
under
rate.
attack.
No surprise, of course, with how well Evil Genius has been doing in the group stage they've just come out of. 100% win rate on the SF.
He's gonna have to, the thing is this game is typical because he has to try to like think when he's gonna go for the BKB because of how much magical burst there really is gonna be at Thunder Awakens. They will be able to get on top of him at some point. As we mentioned earlier, the Bloodseeker BKB, that's gonna enable his team to just run at SF, run at Arteezy. So we'll see when he opts to go for that BKB. Right now, he's chilling in the jungle farming, not too much pressure onto him.
For Thunder now at this stage, who are they looking to run towards? Where is the easiest play to be made? Are you trying to get into the jungle to try and find this Shadow Fiend? Do you look to try and bait EG again into a fight around this bottom tier 1 and react?
I think you can fight around the bottom tier 1. I don't think you're at too much pressure of like needing to do anything at all right now. Picaz is chilling, he's farming, has Maelstrom. Zeus is having a great game too. The lanes have gone pretty well for having like this Pango offlane that we've seen sometimes suffer. So I don't think they're forced. If they see EG overcommit, they'll absolutely take the fight.
Let's have a look, see if they want to do anything about this tier 1 defense. Last time
Cannot be
it worked out very well for Thunder. He will scan it out, and you can see this time EG being much more careful about the pressure onto that tower. They'll start to back off the majority of them, look over towards the mid. As Thunder looking to trade with the pressure applied here instead.
Nicely done. Forcing some reactions. Mago, Invis. As the Kaya finished up, so lots of burst. Also, Max Lightning Bolt is done too, so eyes on the Zeus to really bring down these targets really quick in the fights. And as you mentioned, it really is so much burst on this team.
Straight in they go. They see a chance there to jump Fly, and Fly gone in an instant.
And they really have some of the highest nuke burst heroes in Dota that you can combine all as one. As the Ango is getting quite low, but he'll be okay.
Dyer's middle tower is
Still
not
sticking around here. Thunder Awaken, they're happy to take another fight. Will be difficult around Nightfall's presence though. He'll arrive at the tower, has Ravage. He's got the hook complete.
Exactly, he's going to go for his standard build. He's going to go for Wraith Pack plus the pipe. The damage mitigation just seems to be pretty crucial at this tournament so far. But yeah, as you said, that burst damage, it's nothing to laugh at ever in this game. That's why I'm mentioning the BKB for SF. Eventually, he has to kind of think about it.
See Panda did step up here. We'll drop the ult, but a few right clicks from Arteezy takes him down, and they might see Mago can chase for more. They'll look towards the Zeus. Bloodbright gets laid down, but flies into the Mago. They've got the Ravage as well, catching out the two of them. Sacred rolling across, controlling Fly, but Picard has to back away.
A bit of overcommitment there, getting a bit too aggressive.
I was watching from the side here, but the 4 members of EG will be in pretty good state right now. A fight that Thunder Awaken will look to step back into quite yet.
EG looks like they will respect it though, right? They did commit Ravage. They're gonna back up, let themselves just farm. Don't want to risk going into Thunder Awaken's constant spam lineup, going for a tower here this early.
So we're seeing that BKB on the cars. That's going to be the next focus ready for Thunder. Get this BKB done on the Picard's Bloodseeker, and then they'll truly be ready to just go into these fights. And Picard will have very little that's going to stop him going for whatever target he wants.
He can just really beeline the Shadow Feeder. It's going to be mostly the SF and the Evoker in most of these situations. And yeah, we see Arteezy, he understands, BKB's queued up for him too. It has to happen this game. It's just way too much magical burst. We did see Matthew's actually got for phase boost this game, so opting to delay his blink dagger a little bit. Does have tumblers, so we'll be able to help him a bit, but does mean the initiation for Thunder will be a little bit more difficult in most situations. No real blink stun kind of thing. It's just going to be reacting to EG's first moves. Sacred, I believe he have it done? He does. Pretty much the Lotus is going to be finished for this Pango. So they'll have options to be able to counter this Silencer as well in this mid game, which we haven't seen the global yet.
See, bottom lane this time round, EG, they should be able to finish off this tier 1 tower.
They're hesitant though. He's not going to do it himself.
They're still being careful.
Let the catapult do it.
Never be too sure when Awaken's ready to bring the fight. Matthew. Oh, here, look at the combo to crit. And with the follow-up and the ult, they'll burst through the silencer. Return, they'll look towards Matthew. They'll try and zoom out of there with a phase boost. Sunstrike not going to hit. Doesn't matter. Fly. Will finish off the kill.
How dare you, Fly? Arteezy's last hit is going to be coming in. He needs money. Got to get that shard on time, too. Not the most value shard, I would say, this game for the Sven, but versus the Bloodseeker, of course, it's going to have that massive benefit, at least for the Shadow Fiend. Besides that, everyone else is just kind of magic damage, so.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
800 gold to go. The BKB on Picard.
Still neck and neck, though. Game super close right now.
Yeah, BKB is on the 2 carries. That's going to mean everything for each of them.
Will it be enough to protect at least Arteezy? Because as we said, you know, the Bloodseeker will be able to just pierce the back lines to get on top of him. But at the same time, too, looking at Thunder, they don't really have any. They have nothing versus that BKB besides Rupture as well, too. It'll be a pretty explosive team fight when it all kicks off for those BKBs. Both teams look like they are playing a bit careful for the moment.
Absolutely, I could, without a doubt, go either way. The first big rule that we see from these squads, 17 minutes in, 10-9, and less than 1,000 gold difference in these two teams.
Crit could just cripple the fights completely too, right? Like if you see the Pango rolling up, you can get the global, you get these Ravages that can come into the control, so. We'll see how Thunder Awakens approaches the fight without any initiation.
So Matthew, off the back of the tornado into the cold snap here as he steps up mid. Able to finish him off. He's under EG. Put some pressure onto this tier 1 tower mid lane, knowing that Thunder Awaken to try and bring a full fight here with one of their heroes down.
EG rallying around that pipe right now. The Tide, they know how strong they are when he's inside of the fights. This magic resistance, aura, and everything. And it's going to be able to counter a lot of that Thunder burst that we were mentioning.
See what Thunder want to try and make happen here then. Another Arteezy's not present here for the team fight. That's the power of EG.
Sacred, he's completely
That's true, he's out 1 charges as well. Nothing to sort of buff himself back up for the fight. Over to the side, stunned into the side as the Ravage as well. They're caught out. Picard will be able to get the BKB off. Is he able to fight with us though?
He's turning.
Use the Zeusol to try and enable him, get them low, but it's not enough for Picard to be able to completely commit in on this. Sacred charges in with the Rolling Thunder, holds them back. Another connection onto Arbet will finish off the Invoker. EG, they're starting to back off now. They've used their big team fight ultimates. They've just got the Requiem left. Will come out from the high ground, catching onto Matthew with the fear. The fly goes down. Matthew, he's still alive. Finally gets taken out there. Arteezy with the last right click. Thunder Awaken overall, without a doubt, they're going to be very, very happy with how that team fight went. Huge ultimate, these long cooldown ultimates used by EG, and it wasn't enough to allow EG to take the team fight.
They didn't have the SF there when they're focusing on the Picasso. He is that physical damage. This is a pretty tanky Bloodseeker. The Invoker with the Quasquex, it does not deal as much damage versus this.
I mean, really saw
That's what you saw.
I mean, pretty much what the stuns. Now Fly setting up into the Ravage, they get him low, but as you said, getting him low at this stage is not good enough if the SF's not around. BKB from Picard, there's nothing else to really touch it.
No, and they barely got the mana 2 for Sacred, right? We were mentioning how he was I think he got bottled up from Mago, and then I think he got maybe like Arcane Boot from something else, so.
Yeah, he must have, because I would imagine as well, that's probably something EG were going into that fight having in mind. They're like,
exactly.
We caught the Pango with the EMP, he's not going to have mana to play, but as we saw there, Sacred coming in once again with a huge Rolling Thunder.
And that was also before the SF had the BKB, so he was being, Arteezy being a little bit more hesitant how much he does come into the fights. Now also, so Thunder, after that, Sacred, he's pretty much going to have Blink Dagger, so, we were talking about a little bit of awkwardness perhaps for their initiations. Now, that's going to be pretty clean for Sacred in most situations. Abed starting to fall behind.
See around the power in. Just going to be the regen down bottom. Too explosive.
Regeneration.
Much longer for these cooldowns though. 30 seconds at least on the Ravage. Does feel like Thunder could perhaps go for something pretty soon if they want to. They don't really have any rush, as we were mentioning, though. Their draft, they're fine with scaling in this game. Especially with how well Psg is having time.
Number 3 of EG towards the top. Crit and Flight just making sure that Arteezy is kept safe at all costs here, in case any sort of play was to be made towards him.
There's a little awkward field to go on to this Pango now too. If he sees the stun flying in from the Span, he's just going to Lotus Reflect. Also, nice play there from Sacred, hiding his Blink in the trees, trying to make sure that EG is not aware of that one for the next fight.
They do try and make a move immediately off the back of this pickup, because as you say, we'll be into these ultimates from EG. As we did see last time round, that proved to be something that Thunder Awakened didn't have to be too scared about at all. They can still fight with the outplay against the Team Fight Ultimates as long as they're big cause, Psg doesn't get bursted, and Sacred at all costs is just able to get that rolling Thunder off.
Look at this vision right now. Thunder has some beautiful vision down there, completely seeing all of EG's movements across the map.
Thinking about going for this here. There's the ult to set things up, get the vision, Sacred ready to roll forward. Psg goes for Arteezy, the BKB's off as Psg is just able to stand his ground against Arteezy, then take him down. And up to the side, Nightfall in trouble as well. Avalanche setting up the bomb right. There's 2 dead on EG. EG, they've got to run.
They do get the Sunstrike at least for 1 kill to come back. A beautiful jump. The burst damage, we saw Arteezy BKBs, but he's already, what, 30% HP or less? BKB from Psg, Rupture gets right on top of him. We're seeing all that burst damage really being a big problem for EG.
Absolutely, as you say, one of the sort of lackings of EG's lineup is just the potential to really bail the SF out of this trouble. You know, if Psg gets on top of Arteezy, BKB or not, it's not going to be a fun fight for Arteezy to stand it.
Now look at that. He's 30% HP immediately, and then his whole team is already having to bail. They can't actually get
They can't do anything to help him at this stage.
Beautiful play, really, by Thunder. And we're going to see that a lot now. When they have the Zeus ult, when they have this Pango constantly, they see everybody when they Zeus ult, Pango gets those initiations, and that's the dream at Blink reveal.
The last few team fights chosen very, very well here by Thunder Awakened, starting to build a bit of a lead here against EG.
And EG, they're not really near any kind of these defensive items for Arteezy from the supports, right? They've gone for the Shard on the Sven, and then they've gone for just a Veil on the Silencer, so no Force Staffs, nothing like that to kind of protect him.
Bottom tower is taking many wounds.
He's gonna have to stick around Nightfall for that lifesteal, for that pipe and everything. They have to play these team fights pretty clean now.
Still have the Ravage here to make a move with.
You see Sacred, they move that ward down.
Another up there in the triangle, Sacred clearing the wave and playing it safe. Still going to try to look for the setup. Tornado won't catch. The Sacred with the shot. Able to dodge the EMP and slide out with the swashbuckle. Lotus as well. EG, they can't dive for this.
He even holds the Rolling Thunder. That's actually huge. A lot of times you'd see, just a little bit of safe plays just to roll up and Rolling Thunder out, but they can actually go for perhaps taking a fight right after this.
Thunder Awakened keeping it very, very cool here. Psg pretty much having his next time done. Manta, boy, should be ready for the next team fight.
And now he's got the Dream, right? That's the always true and tested items versus the Silencer. Oh, he's gonna be able to prevent everything. He's massive. They just used the Zeus ult to scout, it looks like. Feeling very comfortable now, 3K lead. Really loving the warding. It's one of the biggest things that I've been seeing, at least from Thunder Awakened this game. Just some clever wards, a little bit different ones, but it's been catching EG off guard.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
This'll come in handy.
Gold for me. Dire's
I think at
bottom
this stage,
tower has fallen.
Thunder. Is there really any pressure on them to sort of make these moves, or are they just waiting for EG to come to that?
I think they can do kind of what I think they're feeling so comfortable with the map. The Zeus is having such free farm, almost as Ags. Like, these fights for Arteezy, they're gonna be complicated. And look, he's actually going for some magic resistance himself on top too. Going Mage Slayer, going into just a bit of a different type of build to survive this burst damage. It's just gonna get bigger and bigger once the Zeus keeps getting these levels and finishes up his Ags, which is about to do. Okay, so Matthew Blink Dagger's done it, but now also we see Nightfall, he's changed things up. Looks like EG's getting a bit annoyed of them not having any form of being able to start a fight. So now he's gone for the Blink rather than going for Wraith Pact.
I mean, in these fights, EG, who's sort of your top priority in terms of who you want to be jumping and blowing up? Is it the Pango?
Radiant's bottom tower
Any of the
is
corners.
under
I think if
attack.
you can just explode one of the corners, you're probably off to a good start for this
is
one.
under attack.
Zeus might, it's tough to say really. Zeus is still such a priority in a lot of situations, but you almost will never find him first.
No, sure. Yeah, Dark Margo highly likely to be very solid with his positioning.
Okay, they're
only died the once this game.
Let's see, they're trying to catch him off guard, hiding the Blink Dagger from Nightfall.
What do you do? There we go. Nightfall immediately with the jump ravage to burst through the Zeus. They'll get him. Actually trying to get up the toss back. Won't be able to save him in time. Now with the Rolling Thunder, Sacred attempting to turn this around, but RTZ's in with the BKB. He's beating it to Picard. Picard has to back off for now. So BKB's starting to come to an end. Sacred rolls across Arbed. No follow-up damage this time for Thunder Awakened to take anything in return as EG. Good seize of the opportunity there. On Nightfall, they see that chance to jump, ravage one of the cores, get the Zeus.
I was going to say, they have to make something out of this though. It's a nice kill, but they have to get something else. And into the Roche.
They'll get this very easily here.
Nice. Nicely done from them. And that time, this, we were just mentioning, you usually don't get caught on the Zeus, but that was the Blink reveal. Didn't expect it whatsoever. And a beautiful play really from Abed, the Sunstrike to scout before that Blink Ravage comes out. Nicely done from AG.
Which, an admirable attempt there from Matthew, of course, trying to win with his own Blink reveal to get the toss back, potentially save Dark Margo, but too much burst from EG. Aegis on RTZ. We'll see what EG's going to be able to set up for next. They don't have a Ravage, but they do still have the safety of the Global to fight under. Oh, actually finding a little bit of an opening here. Matthew is around as well to help Sacred out. See the BKB spot, Arbed standing his ground. Let's see an attempt to charge down Fly, but the disarm's already there onto Picard. He had to back off himself. Drop the prop drop to Arbed. BKB from comes to an end. Sacred's going to try and roll in and finish off this kill. A couple of bounces with the Thunder blood right down. Picard finishes off Arbed. Turn their attention now over towards Nightfall. The damage of Picard, Dark Margo, and Sacred. It seems to be a lot. The global silence comes out. Backups here. Arteezy and Fly have turned up as well. Arteezy stepping forward very confidently here. Of course, with the BKB and the Aegis. Turns towards Picard. Standing his ground against the Blitzing, but Picard tries to run. But Arteezy able to take him down.
He keeps trying to go for the SF, but he's got Warcry on him. He's got like 40 armor on this Shadow Fiend every time the Picard runs in. And that's actually, Picard, his BKB just came up, he popped it, ran in, and died right afterwards. So now we're at that 6-second PG finding their footing. And that was Thunder forcing the fight because they know, Ravage on cooldown, they're trying to persist into something, and they do lose. Big boy Picard.
They sort of just underestimated the ability for EG to bring in all the members. RTZ able to step up. And of course, something that you won't hesitate to do so with this Aegis ready to go. Still 3 minutes of play on it.
Picard was really pushing the limits there too, right? He was sitting 10-15% HP. BKB was 5 seconds cooldown, healing off creeps. Tries to reinitiate, but yeah, just can't really disregard how tanky the SF is from the Warcry.
So as well, that sort of initial struggle for Picard having to deal with that long disarm. He gets caught by. Even though they're able to find Arbed, see from this part of the fight, Arteezy knows that there's action to be had. Able to walk over, join the rest of his team, and make sure that Thunder just weren't able to stick around in this triangle and take anything more.
Just look how risky though, what Picard is doing there, right? Like just really depending on all the damages.
Quick moves as well from EG. They've got the Ravage back up. They're immediately smoking up into the triangle of Thunder Awaken. Looks like Thunder Awaken are pretty aware. They're backing off.
They have the Wraith Pact now too, so this team fight could be a lot more complicated. The burst and everything from Thunder is no longer nearly as effective versus Mage Slayer, versus Wraith Pact, versus Pipe. EG's got a lot of ways to just protect their cores now.
See here, Thunder, no intentions of stepping up into this triangle. They know that this area would be incredibly deadly with EG in position.
Aegis as well as all those ults being up, and also RTZ, they don't know this, but he's now hit level 20, so big peak timing for the SF. Massive damage increase. And I think he also does have, he does actually have the full Bloodthorn as well.
This is, he hits hard.
Oh yeah.
Now with these sort of decreasing durations of BKBs, as soon as that BKB comes to an end, they have to get out of the fight here, Picard in particular. He's used that BKB in Manta. They're able to catch him with any sort of stun, the amp up with the Bloodthorn. This Bloodseeker's going to get destroyed by the SF. Yeah,
now also you have to watch out for your Zeus, your Pango, etc. If the SF's able to get on them, he can actually just clear them out on his own. Assault. See the SF. He's the only one really showing. Yeah, I think they did see the pipe aura actually on him. They did know that the rest of EG was in the area.
What
EG definitely still trying to see if they can make something happen with this last minute. The Aegis on RTZ.
Yeah, they're kind of like controlling the map and constricting a little bit, right? Preventing this Bloodseeker from going for the triangle. So, making sure that they are restricting a bit of that farm. But Thunder's still not really like losing out on the farm much, right? Still lingering between that 1 to 2k gold lead. But EG wants the fight.
Radiant's
Now
top
they have a blink
tower is
also on the
under
Invoker,
attack.
so for Abed, easier positioning for him. Either to buff up RTZ or to get these disarms and control.
Healing Radiant.
Do you think there's an opportunity for Thunder Awaken to try and look to force a fight? You know, in conjunction with the ending of this Aegis?
Knowing them, that's kind of their style. So let's see if they want to try it. It's still very difficult because you mentioned there's a ton of damage mitigation that's coming out on EG.
They're very much ready to go. Matthew stepping up.
Let's see what they find.
Here's the jump. Matthew in with the avalanche toss combo. Bursting fly down low. Roll forward for Sacred. He's going to look to try and chase down the Sven. Flying Crit getting forced out of the fight here. And Thunder run down the two supports. Fly goes down. Crit as well. Looking to be in a fair bit of trouble. As Thunder immediately take out the two supports. The cause of EG nowhere to be seen. They'll back out. They'll completely get themselves out of this fight. They don't want to have any part of this.
Fully ditch the supports, right? Like the globals popped in all three corners, just go nowhere near to help them. So
Carnage underway, and Radiant's
we'll get some
top
push
tower.
going in the top lane though. Abed, he kind of stuck around there. Does have the double forge there to hit the tower a little. We'll get answered. And yeah, in typical Thunder Awakens faction, they're gonna look for those fights. You know, that's this team in a nutshell. Constant aggression. And now they also do have Sacred with his own Wraith Pact, so damage mitigation versus damage mitigation. I would say overall though, EG, they have a little bit of an easier way to kill that Wraith Pact with that Invoker SF. They can easily target it. On the side of Thunder Awaken, killing Wraith Pact in fights is not going to be the easiest.
Sure, sort of their only sort of fast hitter is the Bloodseeker. And
Yeah, he doesn't want to waste time.
Indeed, he doesn't want to spend moments on hitting the Wraith Pact in the midst of a team fight.
They'll need the CM level 20 at some point.
See Matthew, get chased down here, Bloodthorn into place, how much damage comes through as a few of those hits come in. At the same time, Sacred's in with the ult, over towards RTZ, RTZ pops the BKB.
Sacred.
That's a beat into Sacred as Sacred has to roll away. Will manage to survive.
That was kind of their big go right now. Ravage still available for EG. Thunder has to be careful. Yeah, they're just having a lot of difficulty with this SF, and he's soon approaching that Satanic too, so.
He's going to be huge. If they don't burst through RTZ, he's going to be back up to full HP.
They got to try to isolate him somehow or just get the grab on him first.
Let's have a look at
They're going again. I mean, this is in typical Thunder fashion. They do have the Zeus ult at the ready. Pango ult in about 30.
Have to, and by that, yeah, they do now. The global silence also back up, so EG ready with their ultimates to respond. There has to be a very, very clean jump from Thunder Awaken and a quick one as well.
They're still being cautious. 45 seconds on RTZ's BKB, so he's pretty much just sitting in the base. He gets caught. If he gets caught from the tiny, he's kind of just dead. So nice attempted smoke there from Thunder, but EG very well aware.
EG know exactly what's up.
Dyer's current.
Incredibly hard for Thunder to sort of find a way to get in on top of this lineup when EG is grouped up as much as they are.
Still keeping that gold lead though. The golden experience lead they've constantly added this game. But the net, you know, that win probability is just dead even. We've seen it throughout the whole game. The battles back and forth. Some good aggressive vision though, Thunder. When they did go for that swoop, they put down some wards. EG probably well aware of that area, so they're not going to go near their triangle for the moment.
EG, I don't feel any reason to try and force anything until the Satanic is done with how close it is here for RTZ.
This is a cool next item queued up there from Kaz. You really understand why, of course. Just the blink of Swift Blink, he just wants to jump onto RTZ and kill him, right? That's going to be the name of the game for him. Well, let's see if he does have that damage. As we keep saying, you know, the war cry is nothing to ever laugh about. For sure. And it gets stronger if the Sniper gets levels. Let's see.
See how much they want to try and commit in onto this, as the rest of Thunder Awaken pretty far back away from this. He's leading from Sacred. He'll opt for the TP out. They weren't looking to do anything too crazy here this time, Thunder.
They also did see that Shadow Fiend Satanic now too. Back up. Shard available. Nice free one there for RTZ.
Put this out. Nimbus. Now I'm trying to head over towards the pit.
There's no roll. There's no rolling Thunder. There's no Zeus ult.
It's going to be very hard to contest this. Thunder still try and give it a shot as Roshan is very low. But they'll support the global EG, make sure they keep the area covered. And indeed, without their own ults, Thunder Awaken not able to contest this.
That is for certain.
EG playing very smart with how they just pick and choose their battles here. Even though that gold lead, as we said, for Thunder has been there, EG continues to get this Roshan advantage from their, incredible Roshan lineup, of course.
She actually, Picard's as well changing it up.
Switch it.
Amp up the damage, go for the silver edge.
Okay, cool.
Toss back here onto Nightfall in the mid. Will possibly use the Ravage, catches onto the floor, but of course he's far away from the rest of EG. Picard charges it, they'll be able to take Nightfall down. Now we'll go towards Arteezy, of course Arteezy with the Aegis and the BKB. Will stand his ground here, punch back at the Picard. Picard has to keep his distance. One hit away from dying. Ahmed tries to catch with the tornado, but the BKB is still on in time to keep Picard safe. Underneath the tower, Sacred charges forward with the Rolling Thunder. They've taken out Crit as well. Jump forward from Matthew Thunder. They're ready to look for more. They've got the Frostbite onto Fly. Requiem from Arteezy trying to keep the space in to keep the rest of EG safe. But Thunder, they still continue to poke here underneath the tier 2 tower. Frostbite from Panda. And then we jump from Sacred in with the shield crash. Matthew over the ramp around towards Arteezy. Arteezy turns towards Sacred. Sacred, he's still alive. He finally died. The last hit there from Arteezy takes him out. But Picard, he's going to go back in. He believes in the bash. Gets to the BG. Bash and puts the blade active as well to hold back Arteezy. But now the buybacks is coming out. Crit's in. Back into the fight, wants to make sure that Thunder Awaken don't poke for anything more. Thunder Awaken, they'll back off. And they certainly shook EG up quite a bit there underneath that tier 2 box.
I mean, Matthew, right? These tossbacks just kind of putting EG in a position where they're like, wait, what's happening? Why are these fights going on? The poke and prod from Thunder, beautifully done.
I mean, it really is with this team. You know, just when you think they've had enough from the fight, they go for that extra bit more.
I mean, Matthew is really quite dangerous. We've seen why this Tiny is so prominent, especially in the SA region. Even when this hero started to falter a lot, SA was still all over it, and we always do see why. Yeah, just EG's like trying to position themselves to not get hit from this, but it's just beautiful from Thunder to just get this, just completely zone them on the outside and get that constant spam.
It really was just sort of toss back after toss back from Matthew. Started with the play onto Nightfall, catches out Fly, and then here behind the tower, another toss back and Fly wants to get, as you saw, Crit before Fly. Incredible fight there for Thunder Awaken that EG definitely weren't expecting. They were not ready for Thunder to come at them that hard at this stage.
Yeah, and it's a huge gold injection too, right? For because he just had bought the Chrysalis, now he has a 3,500 gold, so he can choose to what he goes for here.
And just sort of the heads-up realization that they could go for that move. You know, something that you won't see a lot of teams go into these sort of fights underneath the tier 2 against a squad that's just picked up an Aegis.
Thunder always will. They'll always go for those fights if they see an opportunity for these type of plays. Absolutely. E-Blade done for the Zeus. Even more damage, ways to protect himself as well. And now let's look at for these items, of course, since we are now 37 minutes. We always talk about this tier 4 items versus Silencer. Of course, a lot of them are going to be there for the Dispel.
Might look to sell something up, very on the Crit straight with the pistol blade, eliminates the Silencer. Ruptures well to Abed. He has got the BKB, but not a lot else to help him. Bash in there from Picard, it's a double. And they're not done yet, they're ready to look for more Fly. Trying to set up the fight return with Nightfall. Got Arteezy coming up, looking towards Matthew, but Matthew's able to charge away. Picard pops the man to get back up the high ground. EG able to careful. Arteezy's already used the BKB. It's coming to an end. Sacred rolls forward, blink forward, over towards Fly, and Nightfall. Picard focusing down the time, just beats it through, takes out Fly as well. It's 4 down. Arteezy lucky to get away there. Able to TP away in the last moment. The 4 dead on EG yet again, 2 times now during this Aegis that Arteezy has, where EG as a squad, they're not prepared for these fights that Thunder's bringing against them.
You guys are just way too damn good at team fighting. Really, they're just dancing around EG, and the way they just get the initiation too, it's Picaz who starts the fight, right? The Bloodseeker running in with the Zeusel, takes out the support quick, gets Ahmed right after.
Arteezy.
Oh, he shows himself.
This is a risky bit of a move here from him under his own tier 2 for sure, but we saw what happened around the tier 2 bit last time.
Here comes
This is not a place that Thunder are scared to go. That's Arteezy. That's going to be the Aegis gone, surely. Not the Satanic, but immediately thrown up in the air with the Yules. That's the Aegis gone.
He's got back up now, though, so Thunder will back up for a second. I will wait to see how far they back up, though, because knowing Thunder, they could just jump back in, but no, they'll wait. Oh, what a big pick up.
What time this relic. And a lovely one as well. That's out for the aura on the team as well. Telescope as well, found by Sacred.
Thunder is getting blessed with some of these items. They've got the items to remove the globals, they've got Blastric to protect Sacred, and now that Timeless. And yeah, we see there Picaz.
I mean, He was sort of just in the neighborhood, sort of sees them, crit standing around, and he's like, well, why not? We'll start a team fight off here.
These fights are getting really awkward, though. You were seeing a few times now, Nightfall is jumping in with like the supports, but he's like, wait, where's our backup of damage? We don't have our SF. Our Invoker had died. We just blew everything. So Mago is able to reset, and then Thunder's able to take these fights. I mean,
yeah, even if they're alive, sort of outside of Arteezy, I mean, Arteezy's the damage at this stage. Outside of that, nothing too crazy that's going to burst through Thunder. They need Arteezy in position, deleting these targets, something that he can do as an SF. But as we've seen Thunder just poking and prodding, jumping in and out of the fights, making it very hard to finish the kills. I mean, countless times we've seen like Picard's running in, running out on minimal HP and making the perfect call of when to head back in, despite how low he may get.
It really feels like he needs a Blink Dagger to be able to have that follow-up for the Ravage, and he is, that is going to be the natural build-up for the SF when he's getting that 25 too. And SF, level 24, just about to hit 25. We did see Picard's hit 25 in last fight with 2 ruptures.
Oh! Seiko! He's into the tree with the swashbuckle, the bash is there! And Arteezy's TP is going to be put to an end! He's being ruptured, is there anything they can do to save him? And put the red grid, but Sacred back across again for the Rolling Thunder. The rest of the backup of EG's in, but Arteezy's so incredibly low, jump forward, Global Size there in return. Arteezy turns, takes out Matthew, they look towards Sacred, Sacred's out with the swashbuckle, there'll be a buyback straight away from Matthew. As Thunder, they want to continue to pressure EG here. You see how scared EG is, having to run right away from Thunder.
Oh, I cannot believe he gets out there, though. Great global from Crit to kind of cover the bases.
That certainly could have gone a whole lot worse there for EG. Yeah. Definitely was a scary moment there for Arteezy, though, when he gets clipped in the tree line by that swashbuckle bash.
And BKB is still going to be on cooldown for him for 50 seconds. EG is smoked. Could look for him as well without that BKB.
Look at that.
Same.
See in the river. Jump on onto Sacred. They're trying to burst through. Oh, they handle the Hex out. Ravage as well. They're looking down Picard, so they're going to burst to finish him off. It's on. Back to the BKB. Picard, he's out, and they'll start to heal up on the creeps. You know this man. He's going to be ready to go back in. He's looking over towards Ahmed. Ahmed caught on the side of Swashbuckle. Shield crash from Sacred. They take out Ahmed. They take out Fly. Maybe they can find more here in the trees. Nightfall trying to hide, but Picard, he's got something top of the shot. Picard's getting out, but he's going to hit. Picard will survive. They're ready to keep going once again here. Thunder awakened as Arteezy Crit, the last 2 left behind it. Arteezy's down. Crit as well. Inside team one. They just can't deal with the fog. They cannot deal with the Thunder. The calls, the shot calling, the team fights they choose to take. It couldn't be done any better.
Oh, and they are just way too damn good at taking these fights. Just dancing around over and over again, too. We see the Ravages are coming out, but what is the Arteezy damage? Ahmed had it there. He had the Chaos Meteor with the 20 talent. He had the Sunstrike, but because I think he lives well with what, 90 HP, 60 HP something. Heals up, gets the full turnaround.
Yeah, I mean, this Bloodseeker thing, it's been played to perfection here for Picard.
I mean, the whole team has made it look so good, too, right? Matthew, by the way, Matthew is 0 and 8 this game, but the tiny performance so far,
the impact that he's had, absolutely, yeah, the KDA does not show how much he's been doing here for the squad.
I mean, they're going all in here.
I mean, there's no buyback on Arteezy. 50 seconds without the Shadow Phoenix, 900 gold short of it. Thunder, they will back off though, respect the rest of the respawns coming in from EG. No, they don't need to force it too much. They're 20,000 gold lead. They've been able to clean up the mid set of racks. And they know as long as they can keep playing at the level they've been bringing for the last 20 minutes or so, these team fights aren't getting any easier for EG.
I mean, look at him. Look at Picard. They throw everything. Oh, 60 HP. Gets the Manta and runs away. Also his team, of course, super good on how they bail him out. They all run and lotus him immediately, but damn, Picard's time and time again, getting out with the skin of his teeth.
Playing perfectly with the heal up there. Fortunately, that juicy little green wave there in the mid, allowing him to heal back up to a point that enabled him to get back into the fight, back into the action.
Now, Sacred, a total menace this game as well, 8-2 and 14. Always starting these fights.
They're going to do about this one. Nightfall for the rupture. I mean, it's got to be terrifying for EG. As soon as, if you just see one member of Thunder Awaken jump at you, you've got to be in full defensive mode. Like, you've got to be terrified when you see one of these guys coming at you.
Absolutely. I mean, you're really just seeing so many problems, it feels like, for EG now. They're lacking of damage, lacking of ways to reset and protect the SF. Thunder, they've kind of broken EG at this point. In all these last, I mean, how many fights in a row has it been that they've won? It feels like they've won like 5 or 6 in a row here for Thunder.
See what EG can find here. They need to make this fight work.
No Rolling Thunder, 20 seconds. Maybe trying to find something with that. Look at Mago's positioning here. He's going to TP to join his team.
this doesn't work out, this move from EG, they're going to be in a very painful spot. They're not already here.
Panda's just waiting in the Roche pit too. Does have buyback, so he's in a good position to try to break that smoke for his team.
The high ground.
I see everyone. Secret.
EG, what's the plan now?
See Abed now too.
They know that they see them.
Constant poke.
To the side as well, Nightfall. Fly, they'll look towards Panda. They'll try and go for the easy of the kills. Panda will get burst through. Sacred jumps forward with the roll up. He's in on top of RTZ. We never burst Nightfall pretty low here. Again, Sacred with the rolling thunder passes by once more. Hard gliding from Darmago. Finishes the kill. There'll be a buyback from Nightfall. Fly's going to get taken out though. He's also got the buyback available. Commits it immediately. RTZ, he needs help, but he needs it now. What's the big game? He's trying to get it. It's still there from Magard. From Nightfall. That's going to settle the Requiem. Not fully by just a minute. We're done the fire. No, it doesn't matter. Matthew still ready to jump back in with the blink. 3 dead on EG. Neither of them with buyback available.
They're not letting Arteezy get any attacks off. Either he's getting fast from Pango swashbuckles, he's getting avalanche constantly, he's getting ruptured and put into a different position. I mean, this is just absolutely perfect plays really coming out from Thunder. These team fights, time and time again, they're barely losing anything.
Their chance for Roshan now. Deservedly so. 28k gold. We saw the last few times EG struggle to make much happen at all with the Aegis. Now that Thunder are the ones to have it here on Picard.
You can't kill Picard once. You're gonna kill him twice. He's also got 6,000 gold to boot. Buyback to level 3. I think all the corners now have. Okay, never mind. Margot did spend his gold.
And again, they don't have the buybacks yet. RTZ's been going full in on the purchases, so 2,000 gold pretty much short of the buyback.
They might just be able to end it.
I think they probably will do it. Thunder onto the tier 4s. The jump ball from Matthew does get caught out by the immediate Hex Sunstrike. That's it pretty low, but the space is just being made here for Thunder to take down the tier 4s, get on towards the ancient. EG, is there anything they can do here with the 3 of them to push them back? I don't think so. GG is yours. Thunder Awaken turn up in game 1 of this best of 3 and take EG down.
And they break that Shadow Fiend there. That 100%, it's gone now. They've defeated it.
Some absolute confidence there from Thunder, already being shown, as you say, from the draft alone. We've seen them do it before in the groups. They led through this here as the Shadow.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. Tired. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Sack. 10 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. Radiant team pick. Zeus. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Disruptor. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. League's assassin. Radiant team bad. Monkey King. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team bad. Radiant team bad. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Face the light!
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Your hero. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
welcome to game number 2 between Secret and Psg.Lgd. Happy Slacks, how are you doing?
Am I Happy Slacks?
I can't tell.
I think you're Angry Slacks, and I'm LGD after the last game. So I think you know we're doing okay up here. Let's see if LGD are doing this one, because that was an absolute beatdown, and they need to bring it back here to get us a third game. Just want to give a quick shout out to the fans in the arena that supplied us with these. We have some fans here with a seemingly endless supply of Sir Action Slacks masks. I'm sure you guys will be able to find them out there, but now it's time for the game. Yep, that was a good timing on that voice line of us actually taking off the mask, so that did feel good to take off, I'm not gonna lie. So.
It is close to Halloween, and I did feel terrifying for once in my life.
That is true.
Appreciate that. As we do make it into game number 2, like we said, and already a smoke here from LGD, but looking at their lineup, Cinderin, I might have to interrupt you if things start, but you can start your monologue to tell me what you think of both sides here.
I think compared to last game, I think LGD have more early game prowess. I think last game was in a way, it was a little bit all in with how things needed to go, and the one lane that they were going to do well in kind of did, but not enough. I think this time around they have more skirmishing power with the Monkey King stuck in the trees. They've got a tiny on GQ this time compared to the Tusk last game that got shut down. For Secret, they're running some of the same stuff, right? The name of the game last game was Counter Initiation. This time around they have it again. They have their Nyx Dawnbreaker combo where you stun to set up the Dawnbreaker ult, you can Carapace to set it up. Rather different though from Puppy's side to have the Disruptor instead of the Maiden. A very aggressive support that capitalizes a lot on when you initiate.
Yeah.
So I guess in a way Secret's lineup a little bit less one-dimensional than last game, which can be both a good and a bad thing. But more than anything, I don't know how much to really talk about the drafts, more so than, okay, you know, for LGD, you gotta feel like you get an entry into the game, right? Whatever lineup you have. If you fall behind again, it's not a good look.
Yep, I was going to see an Impale come out from Zayas just to poke Y a bit. But like you said, the CM very different with the Disruptor now, because we saw early game, Puppy was farming, and guess what? Disruptor cannot do that at all. He can farm heroes, though, if he's able to find pickoffs here, just forcing Y back tier 2 tower. Zayas TP's away now, preventing the supports from getting into the lane with their position 1. Beyond playing the Death Prophet here.
Interesting choice from Secret here to opt for essentially a lane swap, right? They're playing Crystallis in the off lane together with Disruptor on Puppy, so they feel like this matchup, both their side lane matchups are not particularly good against Monkey King, right? Both Marcy and Dawn are these melee heroes, but they feel like they offer more in the top lane this way, and I think part of the logic is this way they combine all of their magic damage better, right? Disruptor plus Dawn have a lot of magic damage against the Frost Shield and against Monkey King's low HP pool, so maybe they can stand their ground and fight back, whereas something like a Nyx Marcy, I think, would have kind of been overwhelmed. Sure, they have some magic damage, but it doesn't amount to nearly the same as a good Celestial Hammer plus Thunderstrike combination will, so...
I mean, as a result of these lanes, Rezo is effectively playing position 1 Marcy, which, you know, he's had plenty of practice in years past playing position 1, position 2, and obviously position 3 normally now these days. But what are your thoughts on Marcy as a toss 1 right now?
I think the hero is incredibly strong as a core in general. BKB phase boots and you become a monster, so whichever lane you put Marcy in where she finds farm, you will get that impact later. I do think one upside for LGD against this hero in this game, though, is that I think they have somewhat decent disengage. They have some toss backs, they have Frost Shield against the Marcy damage. Monkey King has his jump, obviously. They have arguably the advantage of vision as well, where they have Zeus ulti, they can have Monkey in the trees. There's a Nyx on the other side, so maybe kind of equalizes it, but I definitely think this is a game where Marcy with a BKB is very strong, but until she has it, I think she can be taken advantage of by almost all of LGD's lineup, actually. A lot of magic burst, a lot of control.
And what are your thoughts on this specific mid matchup, Lesh versus Zeus?
Should be Lesh favored. It's kind of like last game where you had Nisha playing against a Pangolier. This time you're against a ranged hero, but Zeus's forte is not beating ranged heroes out of lane. It's finding his farm and then finding impact later, and just kind of trying to break even. I do think Lesh over time should be able to build a little bit of an advantage. Nice detail there from Nothing to Say in mid, by the way. Used the heavenly jump to attack speed slow Nisha so he didn't get the Flag Bearer creep. A double CS loss, essentially.
Rezo getting forced out of lane temporarily here. 8-6 start for him, so
not the best.
Not the best, but see if that changes here. Jin-Q has been applying a lot of pressure, and obviously Faith Beyond on the death prep like we talked about. The hero that, I mean, not too long ago was changed, so Spirit Siphon's not percentage-based damage, so it won't scale as well, but as a result, it's a lot of times stronger early game. It is a fixed amount.
So powerful around the... I think in many ways DP is one of the strongest heroes in Dota when it hits level 7. If it has 4 in Spirit Siphon and has an okay matchup, you see these clips where DPs just win 1v3s because the enemy team doesn't have healing reduction or don't have good chain stuns or kite ability to get away. A hero like Marcy is relatively safe in that regard, that she does have the rebound to get away, but you still got to be a little bit wary when ZQ hits level 3 because you could get tossed too far away to rebound, and then you can get avalanched in that position. But
Rezo, set up there from Zayas to start things out. Sidekick is there as well, but the Spirit Siphon from Faith Beyond is going to force Resolution back for the time being.
That Radiant's
And
middle
connect
tower.
back into the lane. But you can see the CS from all the lanes. This is very LGD favor. Mid lane is kind of a wash, but the other two very LGD favored, like I said. So how important is that for Secret, for LGD to get off to this good start in the laning stage?
I mean, it's huge, especially I think one of the biggest differences between this game and the last is just polar opposite game for Crystal this, right? Last game he got to play Dawnbreaker against Enigma, which is just, you're just coasting to a free lane.
Yeah.
This one, you have one of your worst matchups, which, again, kind of interesting that Secret opt for this, right? I think not only did they put Dawnbreaker against Monkey King, didn't they also pick it into Monkey, or what was the pick order? I feel like it was kind of, there was something about that draft that was a little bit surprising with the order.
What would have been so bad about Marcy in this thing? Because she has a way to get away from...
She does have a way to get away as well. Yeah. Oh.
Runs back, Starbreaker, but a lot of it's mitigated thanks to Frost Shield coming out from Y. And I was going to say it's not going to lead to kill, but that is more damage than I thought. First Blood ends up going to Puppy. So Secret, despite losing in the CS and the outer lanes, they can get First Blood. A nice double stun from Zayat, but the Avalanche is going to keep him in place. Spirit Siphon, and the tree toss is there. Jin-Q gets credit for it.
Yeah, I think the mindset for Secret in this bottom lane should just be we can't kill and we shouldn't go for aggressive moves because I think the punish is just too strong, right? Even Rezo with a running sidekick on both of them, Faith Beyond is going to overpower them with Spirit Siphon. They just don't have the tools to manage that until you have maybe level 6 on Marcy. Perhaps there's an opportunity to find a kill there. But yeah, the top lane, nice kill from Secret. I'm a little bit surprised that Ame didn't get more involved in trying to save his Lich, but I think he had creeps in the tower that he was prioritizing, and maybe the communication was Y saying, I'm fine, don't worry.
Speaking of Y,
Yeah.
taking some heavy damage here, but here comes the pounce from Ame. Chrysalis. It's going to be another Jingu stack coming out for Ame. Puppy basically out of mana right now.
stuns.
Yeah, but Starbreaker coming out. It does connect onto the Lich, but the Thunder God's Wrath finishes off 2 heroes. So nothing to say, despite being kind of a wash in the mid lane, now has 2 kills to his name.
Yeah, and that's going to put him at the advantage, not just breaking even now with Lesh, but will be pulling ahead on that network. So 500 gold advantage for him there. Happy Arcane Rune as well for that Thunder God. That feels really good to use. It's a relatively long cooldown on level 1, but nice jump there. No Carapace.
Yeah,
From Zayat. Maybe wasn't expecting the jump to come that early from MTS, but yeah, I dare say already that the conditions LGD have in this game are going to make it a closer game than the last one. Like, this is already so much better when you consider how their lineup is going to fare in the next stages of this game. And I think the challenge here for Secret is going to be bringing Nisha into the game. I think he's the key to unlocking the game for them. He has a lot of magic damage against the Frost Shield. He's one of the heroes that can kill Monkey King right now, which, as we've established, their 2 side lane melee cores don't do the best job at. But the way you bring the Lesh into the game here is usually through the Nyx, but he's level 2. We're 7 minutes in. Zayat is having a totally different game than the first one. Really suffering down here. They're obviously going to use that to give Rezo the priority of finding a fast 6, and now he's going to leech some XP off of Nisha finding that stack in the jungle, but long ways away. I think Zayat has to take a lane away now from Nisha for a while to give himself a game. It is really important that you don't fall into that trap of supports, which I think kind of happened to LG in the last game, where you're like, you know, you can't just give your cores everything. Supports need to be unlocked to find purpose in the game. And now Zayat is back bottom.
Trying to farm these creeps up, but Avalanche is there. Toss back into the Exorcism from Faith Beyond, but the rebound global range as usual. And Marcy is A-okay, to say the least.
No Sinister Gaze there, I believe, from Y.
That is true.
I think he wanted to use it a little bit later. Didn't expect Marcy to be in range for the jump on the Nyx there. So I think it is one of those moments where you need to time it perfectly, because if you use it instantly, I don't think you have enough damage for Rezo anyway, because you need it to use it delayed.
Secret are trying to fight into this Exo. It's going to be running out relatively soon, so I'm trying to time that perfectly. Rezo's going to show himself, though. Fortification was already popped to Jin Q. You get the D ward one way or the other, but it will be a deny. You can see, oh, nothing to say, taking a lot of damage. Actually, the heavenly jump on the other side, and he's just dead to Nisha. Big kill for Secret, as now they try to pursue. That was a rebound into a toss, which helps the unleash a little bit here. And Pale's going to connect on the one, but now Resolution has to be a little bit careful, gets off the dispose, and there's the Sinister Gaze you were talking about from Y. They do find the kill on the support, but Resolution falls in the end. Their splitter is just a millimeter off. Nisha trying to find some more value here.
Millimeter, not inch. All right, ZQ's dead.
Well, it was a millimeter. Inch is bigger than a millimeter. I don't know if you know that, Cinder.
No, you don't know what a millimeter is.
Trivia time for you as Chrysalis hammers to the low ground. Looks like he's fine.
Yeah. That was a sick toss from ZQ, by the way, during, I think it was
Mid-air.
It was mid-rebound, so he didn't get stunned, and actually made a pretty big difference there that he finds that toss to salvage that situation somewhat. But yeah, huge play from Nisha there, the rotation, finding the Zeus solo kill, finding the regen rune, and converting that into additional kill with bot has essentially equalized the game now and put himself in the driver's seat, which, you know, if you're a Secret fan, you might not find this net worth split too healthy. The Lesh way at the top of the board, but then you gotta look quite far down to find the next hero for the team you're cheering for. But if you do have one hero far away of the field in this game, you do want to
we
take
have
this
the
guy.
impale. Nice setup from Resolution as well. Crystal, so the Solar Guardian, Faith Beyond is deleted.
Big kill.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Obviously
attack.
practices combo a lot.
Yep.
I mean, last game they didn't have the Marcy to help out on top of that initiation. It was just the Nyx, but it still proved to be quite potent. Now Nation Company looking to find Jin Q, but the Avalanche, nicely placed from him. But Carapace a little bit too late.
Yeah, to quote a wise philosopher, it really does feel so good to play with multiple setup stuns as Dawn.
Thank you.
And yeah, I will never call you that again, trust. All right?
Zayas is going to be spotted. Sinister Gaze is there. Resolution gets a nice stun off with his rebound. Looks like Wyatt mega dead. His Faith Beyond coming from the low ground with that exorcism. Jin Q falling out behind with a static storm inside that kinetic field. They're trying to focus down the DP, but she's healing so much. Now Resolution, he is getting low. The Urn Charge applied. One last little damage proc there from the exorcism, and Faith Beyond gets credit for that.
Urn as well will now be turned into a vessel. So this time around, LGD with the healing reduction.
Nothing to say. He's going to do a nice job at dodging, but it doesn't matter. Crystal still has the damage. Boundless Strike connects onto two as Ame has come to play, but there is the glimpse, and that's going to reset things. So, despite losing there, I mean, what do you want to even call Marcy? It is the position 3 technically.
Yeah.
They do get the position 2 Zeus.
I mean, at this point, both Marcy and Dawn are kind of position 3.5 when you look at the net worth. So.
I mean, we've seen a lot of games in the past where Secret kind of rely on Nisha to absolutely take over, and I want to say of all the people that is good at carrying on their back, he is probably number 1 on my list if I had to make one. As Zayats,
Nice
so
horsey.
very good. But Ame is there.
That's a longer horsey.
So that's a monkey over horse apparently. Zayats will proc down.
That was almost the name of your 2 cats.
That's right. Thank you, Cinder.
1% of the audience got that. That's fine.
Really great to work with.
What is it your cats are called? It's Bucket. It's Bucket, right?
That's right, Bucket.
Who names their cat Bucket? All right, never mind. Don't talk about my dog's name, okay? We're good.
Onion.
Yeah, that's not what his name is.
It basically is. As Nisha makes his way to the top lane with Resolution's help, and then looking to get the trade a little bit late here, but I doubt LGD will try to defend, just using the fortification. Bloodstone, for Nisha, just the recipe away.
Yeah, the big difference between this game and the last one is they have the vessel, right? So there is a path to killing Lesh for Faith Beyond here, the DP. And they also have more burst in general. Last game they had more like sustained damage with the Lone Druid, etc. But this time you have the Zeus, you have Monkey King with some decent burst, DP with the high damage at this point in time.
Yeah, but this mid-tier 1, kind of a big deal. You got to be careful of that Thunderbolt if you're Zayats for that vision. Sentry there as well. They're going to spot him. They're going to try to burst him down. Thunder God Breath is there as well. Looks like Puppy's going to survive. His Solar Guardian coming in now. They're going to focus all their efforts onto this Lich, and the Zeus dies as well. So nothing to say. Takes a fall. This is going to be their 3rd kill in this engagement, all for Secret, and even a buyback coming out.
They set that up so well.
Dire structures are
Phoenix
fortified.
does not get caught running into the sentry, eats the DP silence, resets, and just goes back in.
Dire's middle
And
tower
again,
is
I
under
think
attack.
in this game, nothing to say with the 3 deaths on Zeus. It's just getting caught a
Dire's
bit too
middle
much.
tower has fallen.
Secret with a big trade there. Sure, you lose your mid tower, but you take 1 right back, you find 3 kills and a buyback out of the Lich. So that's huge, and LGD...
I will say this time around, Secret's Roche lineup is far better in terms of just taking it.
Yeah, Marcy is
with
very good at it.
Marcy on top of, I mean, we saw the dive-ball, I mean, the same combo, I guess, from last time, but either way, something they can actually not have to rely on LGD to do 3/4 of the damage before taking. They want.
You put the sidekick on Dawnbreaker with Deso, and then you use your ult, and those 2 heroes together can probably kill Roche in like 20 seconds, just the 2 of them, so... Definitely much
spotting
better.
some things out here.
We
A
have
glimpse, Faith Beyond is out of there. Base Run does spawn as Puppy's gonna take the brunt here. Balance strike, but he turns into a little pig. A couple more right clicks will do it, so support down for Secret. LGD looking for more.
It's all 5 LGD heroes killing a 5 disruptor though. That does not feel that great. And this is one of the strengths that you have as Secret's lineup is that you can play this Dawnbreaker in a side lane and push out the waves and feel somewhat safe and obviously connect with your ult when it's available. On the other side, Marcy, also a kind of tricky hero for LGD's heroes to kill, so you need to rotate the right amount of numbers. They will do a big move here once again. This time as 4 though. To not break the smoke onto the Nyx. This would be a huge pick if they found Nisha, but reading this like a book and not getting caught.
He might be the one that suffers, but again, it's going to be a support potentially. Gets off the spike carapace though. Exorcism is popped, and does that mean they want to try to go for Roach? They're trying to take a fight. Faith Beyond, finding Chrysalis, pulling him down to the Spirit Siphon, but the kinetic field blocks him off. That might be all Psg.Lgd get, and that's a big cooldown they have to take into account now.
Oh, they might lose their Tiny
into the
too.
split art. Hammer's there as well. Down goes Tiny. Faith Beyond. He's here as well, but the Exorcism is running out. Resolution forced to fight despite the Spirit being applied to him. So it's Big Lich hold on to 2, and Psg.Lgd, despite being down in numbers at the start, end up taking this fight in space 3 for 1. And Nisha left along with Zayats here in the top lane.
They got insane value out of DP in that fight. So much damage, so much healing, and like you said, the Chain Frost doing tons of work as well. And it, honestly, that looked like a really good counterplay from Secret jumping on the Tiny, but I think Resolution maybe bit over a little bit more than he could cheer there. I think they have the kill without the rebound, and he doesn't need to go in. And then did set them up
Place
for a
the sentry
return.
there. He's going to get the toss off, and that means Secret probably will back out here. The ward battles have come.
Yep.
Secret to get a bit of that engagement. It's nothing to say now with the Arcane Rune. That's a big one.
So we're gonna
another
see
replay here.
Yeah.
I thought this fight was.
So this
Very
is
good for
this is
Secret.
really good, this glimpse that comes out here. So they're going to glimpse Spectrum Q into a Lesh stun, and I think this is a kill without Marcy connecting here, and now Reso's out of position. Chain Frost starts bouncing. He carries that one. Wait, didn't it continue? Oh,
right here.
It was on the creep camp above. I was like, where did it go? And then it connected
Oh.
back down to Puppy and Chrysalis. All right, that's just flat out really unfortunate, because it looked like they carried it away and it was gone. I think Secret were caught off guard by that Chain Frost returning to the fight and actually just giving LGD a little bit of a freebie there. Sometimes the creeps are not neutral. That was dire creeps.
Indeed. Well, 1K lead for Psg.Lgd as Faith Beyond working on a BKB. And we've already seen the being applied. Very strong item. Zayats. Now with the Vendetta. Is going to be seen. Why? The Vendetta damage to start, but like you said, the sun's coming out. Hammer. Wants to finish the job, and he will. Find the support.
Of that kind of thing where I can.
Making progress toward that Deso. He did go for the shard first. I think that's a good choice in this game as Dawn. You're up against too many problems that prevent you from using Starbreaker, so... And it feels bad to rush BKB. So getting this as a kind of a gapping item for your damage item is solid here. Still have to be very careful when you're out of Starbreaker though. I think this is like, once again, a lineup that LGD are running that are very, very good at punishing melee heroes. So, and we've seen that in the previous fight, right? If you're just a little bit out of position on the Dawn or on the Marcy, the punishment is pretty severe. So,
yeah,
maybe Secret are going to try to slow this down until they have Reso's BKB. I think that would give them a lot of more options to play around with, because I think he's not going to die during that, realistically speaking, unless he's standing in like a Monkey King ult and just tanking that up. Nobody else is doing anything to him in BKB. I don't think the Exorcism Ghosts are really a concern when you have Sidekick plus your ult running.
True.
Easily going to out-heal that.
Still about 1,000 away from finishing that, so a couple minutes. I mean, from LGD's side, they have a lineup that can take Roche pretty fast with the Exo, but it requires pretty big cooldown and likely want to pick off beforehand.
We're going to look for the set pick off. Wonder if we will try to get this as a level 12 gap for Faith Beyond to then go Roche. Tiny close to Dagger, by the way. ZQ went phase boots and has just been quietly farming in the top lane for the last 5 waves.
Psg.Lgd, Avalanche clips Resolution, tossed back into the Sinister Gaze, but Nisha's coming with the Solar Guardian help as well. Resolution ticking out very slowly. Looks like he will find the way. She gets off the stun just in time with his Unleash to stun the Earth Charge. And Jin Q looks like he's going to fall as the Crystalist double kill comes out. But finally, Resolution does fall. A little bit of a backwards engagement, but I think Secret will be okay with this. 2 for 1.
I wonder if we get that in a replay. I wonder if ZQ actually needed to go for that. Because what he did, he gave Resso something to hit with his lifesteal. Obviously, Unleash would not have been able to remove that Vessel charge. It doesn't do that anymore unless you have, I believe it's the Shard, right? Where you get the So, or sorry, not the Shard, the Scepter. So, yeah, that got a lot better for Secret than it looked like it would. And again, that counter initiation potential with the Dawn really coming into play there. Find a return. So we're going to see the replay here. So look, this is a really good initiation from Q into the Silence. It's good execution overall. I think he ticks down to this Vessel. But now Q is going to walk in and give him lifesteal. And he will outlast this for so long. And the thing about this is, sure, Q just killed him in the end, right? But this means Tiny is not participating in the side fight, where that Avalanche could have made a huge difference. Resso all smiles.
No, I'm not sure, but the toss, I think it was bringing him closer, but the Sinister Gaze actually stopped him.
Yeah, it's like mid-air.
We're going to see a fight here, Faith Beyond, doing a lot of damage, healing with the Spirit Side. Here comes the Wukong's command from Ame, trying to focus down Nisha. It's up the Bloodstone, but will it be enough? Spirit Siphon's still there. That's 2 for nothing. Psg.Lgd winning this fight, and now another Avalanche. GQ looking for a target to toss. Oh, it's can't get to the low ground though. Has to walk away the old-fashioned way. Gets off the Starbreaker. Really connects onto Ame. Bounds to follow. It looks like this is going to be the death of the position one for Secret as Psg.Lgd win a big fight here in the mid game.
Huge for them. Monkey King unlocked. He gets involved with that BKB and finds the kill on the big tower. The big game on the other side, the Lash has the Bloodstone and Yules, but no BKB, and does just end up getting kind of, I wouldn't even say he got chain stun, but just like a little bit here and there. It just builds up enough time for Ame to finish the job in the end with a Frost Shield slow. Does really benefit Monkey King quite a lot for these chasing sequences, and now all of a sudden, I mean, Secret just had a pretty good engaged top where they get that trade. Now 5k behind. Just look at that Wukong's command, beautifully placed. Nisha in a really awkward position in the center of it. Almost escaped, but not quite. And I feel like when the Leshrac dies, Secret's teamfight just is over, right? Like, it just falls so incredibly flat. Not just because of the way their lineup is structured, but because of how much of the net worth they're sitting on is on this hero. He just really has to be protected at all costs, get his stuff out. At that time, Nisha does get picked off and just snowballs the fight in LGD's favor, no problem.
Secret smoking up to the enemy jungle. Faith Beyond. See him
far out.
Yeah. Maneuvers himself to the other side. Might have missed out on the vision there. Now they saw him. Resolution with a nice rebound. Here comes the Solar Guardian as well to the Avalanche. Mitigating a lot of this right now. Chrysalis focusing down Jin Q for the time being as Faith Beyond looks to be dead. Just one more right click to go. So nice pick off for Secret. But Ame, next to his tier 2 tower, has to pop the BKB. Wukong's command to follow. Now there's no physical damage go through this with that BKB activated. But they can try to continue on here once the BKB ends up running out. Wise can take a burst of damage now from the Starbreaker. So Secret getting everything they want. Ame the only one left in this area. Looks like he does get away safely. That would have been just a disaster for Psg.Lgd. But still, Secret going to be extremely happy with what happened here.
That looked like a really ambitious dive, but it works out very well. I don't think LGD were remotely ready for this to happen. Like the way their DP gets jumped. I think the just snap reaction there from ZQ on the Tiny was really impressive. He finds the blink into a good Avalanche, but did not buy enough space. No BKB yet on the DP, couldn't get away from a lot of the damage and then gets run down by Resso. And they found, I believe they cut the trees of Ame as well. I think he took the long stun there. I believe we're going to see that potentially in the replay. So this is not a common attack angle here that Secret are going for with their lineup, right? So CQ, notice that really quick blink avalanche, really good job there. But Faith Beyond, that's that Resso BKB coming into play, how much that can do. Does finish off that kill. And on the left side, yeah, Ame gets cut out of the trees there. Stunned for a really long time. Fortunately for him, has BKB ult, or he would have died too. And this could have been tragic for LGD. Now it's only bad. Most of their lead evaporating there.
Yeah, pretty damn even game now as a result of that fight. I've yet to see the first Roche, by the way. I think that's probably going to be the next thing on the menu for both sides if they can get to that. Faith Beyond, he is about to pick up his BKB. That is going to be pretty massive.
That's huge, and it's worth noting as well what Ame went for. I don't think we've highlighted the Mage Slayer, but obviously an amazing item against Lash, right? I think it's part of the reason that Ame doesn't die in that situation when he gets cut out of the trees. Having that magic resistance really helps, and obviously when you do hit the Lash, getting that magic damage reduction as well. But that said, Nisha popping, or rather revealing a BKB in the coming fight could become massive for Secret here.
LGD in the pit. Exorcism already popped. Dieth is going to spot it. The Spike Carapace comes out, double impale. Tiny's just dead right off the bat. Another focus is on Ame. He goes down to the Pulse Nova. No buyback for the Monkey King as why. He's going to get chased now by Nisha. And a huge fight for Secret. See if they can go into the pit and get this Roche on the top back from Jin-Q. Avalanche is there as well. Resolution gets deleted. So maybe now with the numbers. Buyback now into the Lich. Puppy, attempting to TP out, he'll be fine.
Pretty damn impressive that LGD managed to salvage that. Like, consider how that fight began. They sent in the 4 Nyx, they immediately killed the enemy carry, as well as the Lich, and that still turns out somewhat even in the end. It is big, though, that the Exorcism was expended and the BKB for Faith Beyond. Of course, that's a really crucial moment there that LGD could have converted into something big, but
A tithe to the impurity.
I guess at the very least for them with how that started, things could have gone way worse. So look at that. I mean, also kind of a blunder. Where's the Sentry?
That's true.
You're
Yeah,
playing
that's
against
true.
Nyx and you're taking Roche. This is, I would say for LGD, maybe a little bit disappointing considering the level this team usually plays at. Just a little bit cocky, really going for that without putting a Sentry Ward down in that area to protect them from this potential move. And I think it got placed now, so they do have it for the next Roche fight. It is ready against Zayats, but that definitely did catch them off guard there. Like, imagine that exact situation with the Sentry. I actually think they just get the Roche.
Another toss back. This time it's onto Puppy. It's going to be canceled. A big and that's the Starbreaker, so it's a 1-for-1 on the supports. I mean, Exo's still down for a minute. Not sure if Secret will have time to try to take advantage. As we're going to see a blink now onto Nisha.
That's a dieback on GQ, by the way.
That's true, a full
death.
minute.
Secret are getting insane value out of Zayats on the Nyx, just like in the first game. I think it's really, the Carapace is causing issues. You see the Tiny there wanting to go in and it just gets countered very quickly. Zayats in the right place at the right time a lot in these games.
Resolution, I believe the Basher is on the way, so he will do a lot of damage in these fights.
It gives him the possibility of preventing Monkey King from playing the game, right?
Oh, wow.
If you do get the right setup without Wukong's command down, Marcy can beat Monkey King. Right, straight up. This is huge for Secret, though. Don't think so. I mean, do LGD even try
Exo
this?
is up at 5.
It's too late.
Beyond, yeah, looks like it's too late.
Awesome play call here from Secret to go for this. They know Tiny has no buyback.
Oh, they're trying to jump Faith Beyond. Frost Shield's going to keep him healthy for a little longer. Pops the BKB. But Monkey King with the balance strike. Ame comes to play. Bash applied to Resolution now to the rebound. Onto the other side of the river. He'll be fine, but Nisha looks like he wants to try to fight. It's off the Yule. Faith Beyond now on the outskirts of this fight. That is a dead Lash, but that is just the Aegis. Exorcism still going. Zayas gets the impale onto one, but now they're trying to turn this around. Onto the Monkey King. There's the Starbreaker from Chrysalis, and that is the death of Ame. 50 seconds on the deck. And Psg.Lgd, they get the Aegis technically out of the hands of Secret, but it does cost them.
Yeah, it's almost a repeat of the previous moment, right? Where a bad start gets turned into something salvageable for LGD. Like, it's not great by any means to lose the Roche there, but as you said, they do get rid of the Aegis.
Under attack.
I mean, not a spell we hype up a lot in general, but Frost Shield just coming up huge in this fight for keeping Faith Beyond alive here, as he does get jumped there. So you see the instant Frost Shield here makes the difference. If he dies there, this is just all over. Gets the BKB off, gets the Siphons running. awesome 3-man stun coming in from Ame from the tree line there with that boundless. And Resso fortunate enough to have a good spell to get out
Every
with.
time it's, oh, we're gonna see the avatars come out onto Puppy. Is it gonna be punished though? Crystals comes in with the hammer. Starbreaker's there as well, and Jinkyu dies. 45 seconds of no Tony.
With the impurity.
Why? He spotted out, the glimpse back. Looks like Y will be next, so 2 supports down in favor of Secret.
Basher on both sides. You pointed out the Marcy one, now we have one on the Monkey King as well. So really crucial item for potentially locking down the Lesh or the Marcy to keep them in that arena. As we've seen, Resso just resets a lot of the time, just jumps away on the Nyx most of the time. And maybe with this Basher, Ame can keep them a little bit more in place. Eyeing up the Scotty next for more healing reduction against the Lash. And that reliable slow once again
Nothing
sticking.
to say, Impale is there, the stun from Resolution with the Basher as well. Nothing to say, has to use BKB. But the glimpse back, they're gonna find the support now. Face Beyond pops the BKB as well. But this is both in defensive measures as Resolution finds the distance because he's playing Marcy. And down goes, nothing to say. 3K lead now for Secret. And Nisha working on the Shivas next. He's gonna get outpost control in the Psg.Lgd jungle. Okay. Looking for the support, but Zayats is there to try to counteract the Solar Guardian coming in as well. Ame pops the BKB along with Crystals, and Starbreaker deletes Y from the face of the map, and now they're inside Wukong's command.
No bash.
Have to get the hell out of there as Resolution. Looks like he's gonna live, uses the rebound to get a little bit extra distance. Zayats and company now focusing down Faith Beyond on the Death Prophet. Another valuable kill and another valuable fight for Secret.
Yeah, they're going to turn this into mid-tier 2 as well, so yeah, huge that they managed to fight the fight with Zeus dead, right? It's just it's a lot easier for Secret to take this fight when they just get the initiation and don't have to worry too much about that counterplay. So this looks pretty good, but
It does.
they just have so quick reactions on the Dawn and the Nyx. Again, this pairing that Secret have been running in Game 1 and Game 2 now
Do not blame us.
is really paying off. And crucial for Resso that he doesn't get bashed. Any bash in that Monkey King arena, he's dead. So a little bit of luck on his side as well there. Get out. All of a sudden, man, this game has swung around in a big way. I feel like it's 5 minutes ago that LGD were ahead by 5K, now they're down by 8. It goes fast sometimes in Dota when you win these big fights, and Secret, probably with this advantage that they have right now, if they can keep their cool and keep building up their Lesh, the next row, she would imagine, could go their way, and that one could open up for high ground. Like you pointed out in the last game, LGD is a team that plays really, really well from behind, one of the best in the world at that. They will try just that immediately now. No DP ult. They're actually going for a 5-man offensive smoke with Faith Beyond the best ability. I mean, it's debatable. Maybe Spirit Siphon is his best ability, but you know. They want to add what they do.
Avatar, Zayas wants to come in though. They've lost Puppy already. He does have the buyback available. His Thunder God's Wrath is there. Looks like Zayas is going to barely glimpse away, but no, nothing to say there to finish him off now. Resolution, he's taking so much damage. The rebound onto the other side of the map again. Rezo is fine. 70 seconds of no Nyx. Must have been a dieback technically. Puppy. Static Storm. Okay. Enough to take out Jinkyu. Very cocky play from Puppy, but it kind of works out. But again, if they get the kill, this will technically be a dieback for him. Silent Strike. Looks like it will be just that. But there's no Roche to get.
There's that glimpse buff. That's not a kill without the damage.
That is a good
He
point.
killed Tiny with glimpse there, so. Yeah, it's not great to get a dieback just to kill off Jinkyu. I mean, his net worth in this game is not particularly impressive on that. Tiny has had a lot of deaths in these fights, 2 and 8 currently on him. And it gives more than anything for LGD. They made a smoke without Exo. They finally win a fight, and they get a little bit of breathing room, which I think is crucial. You're closing in on some pretty big moments. Monkey King is not too far from level 20. Faith Beyond is close to level 18 as well. Nothing to say, also not that far from 20. And you look over at the Secret heroes, Nisha obviously with level 22. Well ahead in that on that front, having that strong talent on 20. And Rezo actually breaks his 18 now as well, so important to look out for these key levels coming both sides. Wait. I believe Nisha's level 17. What the hell? Remember his start?
Yes. Level 2 at like half minutes.
That's a good recovery. Oh,
Very good initiation, but Jinkyu is there with the avalanche. Will it be enough? No. Nothing to say. Goes down to another member of Secret, that Starbreaker has been deleting heroes, and of course you've said it time and time again, Zayats has been setting up every single initiation. The fact that they can do it across the map with a hero like Dawnbreaker is insane.
It's just a great read that he thinks Zeus is going to go there and use Arc Lightning, right? So he can get that Carapace stun off, and then they use that immediately to chain. Just very, very nicely played by Secret. Pretty much perfect layering of the stuns, too. Just a little bit of a mistake there. Maybe you get BKB off and jump away on the Zeus, but none of that out of the way of Secret, so...
Yes,
Yeah, they've really had his number this game. I mean, it's not like it's just awful scorelines to be 9, 5, and 8 on Zeus, but it just feels like the Carapace has been his big bane this game. Yeah, so many times getting caught off by this Nyx that he did choose to pick it into, which is worth pointing out. Like, they picked Zeus knowing that Nyx was in the game, and it is a double-edged matchup, right? Zeus also has obviously the true sight coming out from Lightning Bolt can be handy, and the ult to find the Nyx, but if he makes the first move...
That hasn't really come into play. I think I've seen
really.
one time that it's actually come into play.
Zayats has been playing an outstanding series.
Absolutely. This is one of the greatest Nyx performances I've seen in a long time. This hero was kind of just not in play from, I want to say, like previous TIs. It feels like it's just fallen off the map, but this year, it's kind of come back with a vengeance.
Yep.
Nisha now has his Shivas, and his net worth separation between 1 and 2 is absurd. 7K, my goodness. Yep. He's not afraid to go to the high ground as the rest of Secret are going to smoke up.
LGD would love to not fight for the next 300 gold on Ame, just get that Scotty. It's a really big game changer for them to get that unlocking. It's going to help them so much against the Lesh, as long as he gets to play the fight on the MK. Look how much they're covering him. Just like
Evolution with the double damage, by the way, nothing to say, he's dead! And it's started to several heroes, now 2 dead for LGD to just start out the fight. Another Starbreaker, but now Crystallis and company outside the Wukong's command. The glimpse back onto Faith Beyond, and he is dead. Triple kill for Resolution. There are all buybacks available for LGD, so Secret have to be a bit careful with this. And why? He's going to die inside his own base. He's the one lone member of LGD without the buyback at the moment. So 12K lead for Secret. Roche is available. See if they try to go for that before trying to push high ground.
correct me if I'm wrong, did they set up that fight with a Reso jump? Was he just jumped on the Zeus, right?
His rebound, I don't know about the initial one.
I think he blinked with ult on and just instantly bashed on Zeus and basically killed him 100-0 with a DD. I think that's what happened, right? I was like, okay, he just disappeared on the Zeus, meaning he has no armor. Actually, he has negative armor because he has the Nether Shawl. That's true. We're gonna see the replay. Oh, okay, this is the tail end of it. I believe it was Reso setting it up himself at that time, but either way, it's extremely explosive, the Secret lineup, when they get the jump. You have to be so quick as LGD to counteract it with Glimmer Cape, with Frost Shield, or the hero just disappears. It's one of Marcy's biggest strengths in Pro Dota is that the damage comes out so quickly that it's almost inhuman to react to it in key moments. Right there, the Zeus just didn't get to play. Nothing to say. Part of me feels like you should play Aeon Disc here. I think going off to Octarine is maybe, like, it's a glass half full kind of, or glass half empty kind of approach. Like, how are you thinking about this? Is it, okay, I'm not gonna get caught and I will have maximum impact, or is it, all right, I kind of have to cover my bases? It doesn't feel good to fight BKB and Disc. I mean, look at how the fights are going, right?
I think technically, if you think you're gonna survive, that's considered glass half full.
Yeah, but that's not really what's happening. So I think that's what I'm saying. The Octarine is a glass half full approach, but that's not what's been happening, right? So I think you have to.
Why? Out.
Nice toast.
They're gonna see him unleash, and a couple right clicks from Resolution.
Okay.
Will do the job. He has a Crystallis right now, not his teammate, and he's actually pretty well into the data list. So I think just a recipe away essentially from finishing that. Obviously, buyback is going to be kind of paramount for every Secret, every hero in this game at this stage. 17K lead now for Secret. Aegis advantage. We didn't talk about the shard, but it was taken by Nisha, which, one of those weird shards, obviously very powerful with the splitters being, I mean, a lot of times we think about like high ground defense, but high ground yourself is actually not too shabby as well. Avalanche here, Wukong's command expended. Is it just for Puppy though? Looks like it is for now, as Nisha, he's perfectly fine to try to fight this out on the other side of the Wukong's command. Here comes a Soul Guardian as well. Faith Beyond is dead. That's the toss back onto Nisha, but now the Wukong's command is down. The BKB finally activated from Ami. It's a big Battle of Strike. A lot of damage coming coming out from Nothing to Say. They get the 2 supports in the end, but now Nothing to Say, he's the one getting pursued by Nisha. Split Earth connects. Pulse Nova continuing to go in again. The Age is still intact for Secret. Frost Shield not going to mitigate any of that magic damage, and the Starbreaker is enough. Another death for Nothing to Say, and 2 cores dead for LGD with no buybacks.
Yeah, he actually finally got to play a fight on the Zeus, so we got to see something come out of him in the way of damage there, but again, Secret just pouncing so strongly in these fights now. And that one felt like a net worth lead win,
Yes,
right?
yes.
If they don't have a big advantage here, this fight is going to go LGD's way, but Secret have built themselves such a fundamental lead now that they can even make a couple of mistakes here or there if necessary, but they're not really doing that. Still feels very, very clean. I love the confidence from Nisha too. I mean, sure he has Aegis. I think he would have done that anyway, honestly. It's like, oh, Wukong's command is down and I'm not in it. I'm invincible. I can do whatever I want. And he just runs outside it and starts chasing heroes down.
It would still be standing.
Looking for the first lane of barracks here. Overwhelming Blink obviously will make it very easy for him to, first of all, be tanky and also set up his own stun.
And Nisha, he's level 25. Trying to get tossed back. That's something you have to be a little bit careful, but if he pops the BKB, and Jin is punished really hard. So this is not connect BKB from Faith Beyond. That's the buyback now to Jin. Be careful because Nothing to Say is now available to fight. They're going to try to turn this around as Resolution jumps in with his BKB, focusing down Ame, but the Wukong's command gets so much armor as Resolution gets destroyed. 80 seconds of no mercy. Another falls for Secret as Psg.Lgd showing some life here. They find 3 kills with no reciprocation.
Toss MVP.
What is their Embracer doing down there?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe someone's gonna. Oh,
alright, Jin Q deletes it. Very nice.
Been funny if that gave someone buyback, but not the case. Yeah, Toss is everything there. They can't get Nisha into a bad position in any other way. And you saw he was expecting to play too. He was like, I'm gonna get tossed here. I'm gonna BKB. I'm gonna kill Tiny, which is what they did. But it set up enough time for LGD to connect, and maybe his teammates a little bit too eager to help here. I think he's actually fine.
Yeah, he's tough.
And he can reset out of this. That with Rezo getting that kill on the Tiny, Secret can full disengage here, but they kind of do get baited in again. I think this jump from Rezo is really putting him in an awkward spot where Monkey King can finally isolate him. And there's a bash. That's the kill.
Yeah. And using the rebound offensively means you have no escape mechanism.
Exactly. I think Secret could have actually got a pretty big win there by just
disengaging once the exit was popped.
Yeah, trading their Aegis away for the Tiny buyback and then getting out.
LGD winning a very important fight, and the Aegis was never used, so it's going to expire on its own accord here in 20 seconds. Question is, what is the next item for Nisha? He has the Overwhelming Blink.
Wind Waker queued up.
Okay.
I guess it's really nice to save his teammates out of Wukong's, right? He can get Rezo out of trouble. He's probably the primary hero that will be in jeopardized positions. Hex is also something he is looking at.
I mean, the problem with using on a teammate is you can't move it. Right? It only moves on yourself. They can't really get out of Wukong, so it's just literally a Yule's in that case.
It's just buying time is just
an extra couple seconds.
Yeah, it makes a pretty big difference.
Nisha is still with a ridiculous net worth lead right now. But at what point, is there a point that Lesh falls off? I don't know. I mean, the Diabolic Edict explosion, we didn't really talk about the 25 town. That is something you just can't let him get close to buildings now.
I mean, I guess something Nisha doesn't have is a refresher. If you want to look at it from that perspective, like how do you solve the hero? If he doesn't have Aegis and doesn't have refresher, he is susceptible when BKB runs out. Zeus has a lot of damage, you have no magic resistance. I guess that's kind of untrue. You have Cloak of Flame, so a little bit, but it's... and if you get caught by a Scotty trail from Monkey...
Of refresher, Ame does have one.
He has it, yep.
Smoked up.
Even after the nerfs, you can easily afford this if you go Scotty. It's something, especially we've seen Faceless Voids in the past go for as a build-up to it.
Maybe the one that gets popped here, but popped the BKB very early. Gets off the Splitter, trying to play around it, but the Jinx is about to proc here as well. The command is there, and Nisha has to use the Yules on himself, but he's likely just going to be left alone, and he's going to be brought down. A huge kill for LGD. There are buybacks for both main members here from Secret.
You really have to be on your toes against this team. Like, you have a big lead, sure, but this is the one thing that can't happen for Secret is that they find Lesh without support. Like, if anyone else is in that line of fire, it's not that bad. Like, you could have lost to Nyx there, you could have lost to Marcy, you could have lost to Disruptor, but Nisha cannot get out once he gets slowed down by that Scotty. He has no... I think that's probably why he is considering this windbreaker, is he needs it for himself. He has to have some sort of way of repositioning and buying time and getting out.
Yep, that's fair.
And with the BKB expended, you see it afterwards, he's just getting chain locked until he dies. Protection just wasn't there. That's a big dent in Secret's lead. That was about 6k net worth from 2 kills in a tower. So it is still well within reach for LGD to solve this.
I mean, 11k at this stage is really not that much. I mean, it's literally on Nisha, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much his net worth lead, so yeah, that's true.
One thing I do want to mention, we're a bit far, it's 2k away, but Puppy,
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
halfway there, that is something that can just win the game, essentially.
Yeah, he has some good setup, right? He has the Nyx. Oh, speaking of.
Yeah, Solar Guardians there. Looks like Jin Q will die. 90 seconds of no Tiny here.
Never safe pushing a side lane against these two.
Quick TP's out. Ame not going to pursue any further.
They're immediately going again. It's like, oh, we get the kill, they TP back, now they smoke and look for another move. So, plays here from Team Secret. Lesh obviously will be able to connect here with Travels. They find a move on the side lane here bot, but nobody is showing. From LGD wisely staying tight-knit here. It is historically and just generally the way to handle Nyx is to not split up too much, especially if he has a global presence, right? A classic combination is Nyx Invoker, get the stun combo into Sunstrike, and that's kills. If you play tight like this with Sentry Wards, it's a lot harder for Zayas to find the impact.
Very synced up on those Shivas there. Faith Beyond versus Nisha, but the BKB prevents the glimpse from being used.
Renzo's thinking, oh, yeah.
Going, it's the bash to start things out, and Faith Beyond is evaporated here. And now they're going to get the Lich on top of it, has to buy back. And we can see that Roche is available. I'm not sure if they're aware. This is the one with the Aghanim Scepter, which gives you that 6k net worth injection, essentially.
Dude, that's so dirty. Like, think of how tanky the Death Prompt is. 4k health with a Shiva.
You have to get Ian on this.
Renzo literally just blinked in and killed him in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Daedalus, Unleash.
And I think when the Tiny is dead, that is their combo breaker. Right? That's the thing that's been kind of like the Avalanche or the toss back that you have to fear. When he's dead, I don't think there's anything they need to fear when going in. And that's going to be another Roche for Secret. This is going to be Nihilism, I would assume, onto Nisha. We'll see who ends up taking the Aghanim Scepter.
Holding it on Nyx for
okay.
now. He's not used it, though.
Puppy's 800 from finishing it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah,
not consumed it. I mean,
I guess they're debating what to do right now.
It's actually a tough decision. Nyx's Ags is incredibly good. Question is, how much value are you going to get on Nihilism? I mean, it's really good as well.
Yeah, it's not the best Nihilism game though, right? It's good against Monkey King, but I don't know. Maybe they're just never going to use it. I wonder what the win rate is of Aghanim's Blessing unconsumed. It's got to be pretty
That's a
high.
great stat. Yeah, I'm sure. Somebody working on that one. Very important.
He's literally, it is inflating his net worth right now. So he's literally just walking around with higher net worth.
No.
Game.
It doesn't inflate until you consume it. Okay, he just consumed it.
It did. His net worth was the same.
There's no way.
Yeah.
I refuse to believe
He
it.
was carrying around 6k gold. All right, he finally uses it.
All right, so now you get a buff to every skill and burrow. You become a lurker. Hopefully that's not trademarked or I might get fired here. So Secret, Psg.Lgd, 25k lead for Secret, but it doesn't, sometimes it hasn't really felt like that based on LGD just making brilliant moves. But that last one really hurt.
It did, and they hit a huge breaking point here. They get 25 on Dawnbreaker. This is such an it is one of the best talents in the whole game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just so strong to get a second free Starbreaker. You have the BKB death, so you're guaranteed to get 2 of them off. You're playing against 1 Monkey King Basher. It's the only counter that the enemy team has to your Starbreakers going off, so Chrysalis will do massive damage, and as we've seen time and time again in this game, plenty of setup where that comes from. His teammates, both Rezo and Zayas, will be happy to just jump in and give him 2 Starbreakers to get a key kill.
And not only that, I mean, on the other side, we have Heart on Faith Beyond, very big item, but the Aghanim Scepter was officially purchased now by Puppy, so
you know what
muting of items.
I don't have a Force Staff.
On PSG?
Yeah, that feels like an oversight to not have that item, right? I know you're playing against Glimpse, but you need some sort of way of getting out of Starbreaker, getting out of...
Oh, they're gonna jump in, Solar Guardian coming in again, and it looks like Big Deal might drop inside the Wukong's command there, but they're just trying to reset. Zayas is gonna live thanks to the Eon Disc and just burrow his way back to full HP. Jin Q is dead as well without buyback available. Now they just wait out the Wukongs.
Oh, he's gonna
instantly canceled. That was a neutral item.
It's actually doing work.
So they got the tower, but nothing more.
And they got a Zeus buyback too.
Right, he has Wind Waker, like you said. That was the Stormcraft, so he has 2 ways to dispel.
Yeah.
I thought that was like a nullifier or something, just canceling it out, but
Bottom barracks
it's the baby Yules. Secret continuing to pursue.
The dire structures.
Fortification is pop. And Splitters aplenty being applied. And now they know that there's no Wukong's command. Refresher already used on Ame. Did he also pop BKB? No. So he has his second BKB now.
This is just not a safe push whatsoever with DP and especially Tiny respawning. I really like from Secret that they disengage here and don't try to get those barracks. I think the risk reward just isn't favoring you nearly enough. Go back, play the map, get your spells ready, get your heroes back in play, and try to find another pick outside the base and use that to get the racks instead. So, I mean, LGD, they do hold on, but it feels like it's expensive every single time. This time, getting that Zeus buyback out, he doesn't have this, and he's still not considering it. He's eyeing up the Hex. Okay, finally, he changed his mind. So will take the defensive route here to ensure that he can at least stay alive for a moment. Faith Beyond!
Inside the Static Storm. Remember, he can't use any items inside of it, and he's dead. 90 seconds of no death profit. Ame trying to get some revenge, but Resolution ends up using Rebound on the other side. Only 1 inside Wukong's command right now, but 3 dead for Psg.Lgd. Now Ame looks to be next. The Starbreaker is coming just for him. Specialty from Secret. He has to buy back instantly. Now Resolution with the dispose, onto nothing to say. Has to pop the BKB himself, but this looks like might be the beginning of the end for LGD in this upper bracket. Rebound not proc there, but again, Chrysalis with the Starbreaker. And this is going to be several sets of racks, if not potentially GG.
Radiant's top tower.
Faith Beyond just disappears. It's like LGD want to access this high ground. They're like, what hero can we send in first that can possibly survive? And he should be the choice, right? You have Heart, Shiva, BKB. He dies before he gets BKB off. He literally just gets killed 100-0. Even with Lich's protection, it wasn't enough.
Oh, Zayats finds Ame. This is going to be a dieback for him potentially. And it will. Double Starbreaker. GG is called. And Secret 2-0 Psg.Lgd, sending them to the lower bracket. And they're going to face off against Thunder Predator. My goodness, I don't think anybody was expecting that potential matchup in the upper bracket, but wow, what a series from Secret.